Welcome back. Yeah, I know you. You know, I don't know what you were doing before you listened to this, but welcome back. And if you ain't never been here before, welcome to the prescription. You know, where this is this is just like another one of my shows where I just kind of break some of this shit that I see down the way that I see it. You understand what I'm saying? Now, today I want to get into truth. Truth is non-negotiable. You understand what I'm saying? And it seems like today people are negotiating, you know, for what reason? I don't know. I haven't quite figured some of those things out. There's going to be a part two to this, but I just wanted to get the initial thought out and out into the world, people that really care about shit like this and things of that nature. But before I even get to what I'm getting into, shout out to you for being here. You know, pat yourself on the back. You know what I'm talking about? For being here, for being able to whatever led you right here, right now. This shit was meant to be. You know what I'm saying? I go out of my way to make myself different than any other content creator out there on the earth. There might be some similar, but they'll never be the same. You feel what I'm saying? It's only one true pill. It's only one true world order. It's only one true pill digital. It's only one prescription. You understand what I'm saying? So thank you. You know, if you like to support, Cash App, top right hand corner. I think the Venmo will be running across the bottom of the screen, but have you support, you know what I'm saying? Please support the platform. You know, a lot of these truth telling platforms and platforms who have a free thought are going away. They're being stripped, they're being, talked about, talked down on, and everything like that. So don't get it twisted. We always need your help here at the Trill World Order. Also, before I get into this, make sure you also go and subscribe to Trill Pill Gaming on YouTube and Twitch. I'll be getting my gaming on, you know what I'm saying? So do that. Also, you can find me damn near anywhere, IG, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Substack, Spotify, and Twitch, of course. Also, right here, if you're in the Dallas Fort Worth area, if you have a table that ain't stable or a chair that ain't being fair, come holler at me. You know what I'm saying? Come holler at us. Come holler at my bro. One of one furniture restoration. Don't throw it out. Give us a shout. Brooks G953 at gmail.com. QR code right hand corner. You understand what I'm saying? Also, make sure you go to Substack. Substack is not social media. It's just a bunch of people who like to write free, think free, share ideas, put ideas out there in the atmosphere. This ain't for your average human being. It ain't a lot of entertainment going on. It's a lot of reading and a lot of thinking and a lot of doing as well. You understand what I'm saying? So with that being said, man, let's get into the good sermon. You know what I'm talking about? Let's get into the good sermon, man. Truth, in my opinion, is well, not really my opinion. It's non-negotiable. You feel me? Truth is non-negotiable, right? They kind of made confusion the norm, and they flooded our timelines with distractions and trends and surface level noise, right? They don't want you focused. They don't want you present because they already know once you see the truth and really see it, you can't be controlled. This isn't about like this is not just about facts. This is pretty much about warfare on your mind, your spirit, your soul, and your attention. They'll sell you illusions. They'll gaslight your reality, all to keep you from remembering one simple thing, and that the truth is non-negotiable. You understand what I'm saying? Um, Truth is not a democracy, right? It doesn't bend to opinions, popularity, or public pressure. It simply just is. In a world shaped by algorithms, celebrity influences, and curated realities, this is what makes truth dangerous because it cannot be monetized or manipulated or mood boarded into submission. Truth is the final authority. Like that's it. It's cut and dry. And that's why It's under constant attack. So when truth becomes inconvenient, these systems build on it. These systems they build on creating illusions, or they're built on illusions that begin to shake. Right, the corporations, media, politics, and even aspects of culture depend on a certain level of ignorance or distraction to maintain power. Now, if people collectively face truth, raw, ugly, and undeniable, right, a lot of these structures will crumble. So instead, we're fed half truth, illusions of progress, and dopamine laced distractions, you know? And distractions is a new drug, you know? It's one of them drugs that's been remixed. It's always been there, but now it's finally hitting the surface. Like distraction, like I really put distraction up there with fentanyl, you know. It's cheaper than control and more addictive than oppression. So when you have people that are overstimulated, underinformed, misinformed, disinformed, and emotionally exhausted, they become docile, easier to manipulate, easier to market to, easier to govern. So the system doesn't want you present. It wants you scrolling, spending, and second guessing yourself, second guessing your own thoughts, your own emotions, your own feelings. It wants you arguing about culture wars while the real war on your mind, your time, and spirit goes unnoticed. You ever notice how they always find a new way to divide us, as human beings, period. And then as being black, they always, it's always something new. Whether it's, you foundational black or not, whether you Christian or Muslim, whether you light skin or dark skin, you know what I'm talking about. It's always something put there, especially in our community. And I feel if you know anything about how we drive up sales of anything, how we drive up culture, how we give everything and anything cultural, um, she would just we turn it gold. I can't think of the word right now at the moment, but everything that we touch, it turns to gold. You know what I'm saying? And we build so many brands without no equity to it, you know. But when it comes to us and what we have to build and what we should be building, we don't have nothing to offer but distractions and fugazi as opinions, because a lot of that shit don't really matter, right? So when you think about, like I said before, this system doesn't want you to, it doesn't want you to be present. It wants you scrolling and spending and second guessing yourself. And it wants you arguing about culture wars while the real war on your mind, on your time, then your spirit goes unnoticed. Distraction isn't just entertainment. It's weaponized. Social media isn't just social, it's surveillance. All these things are disguised. They put these things in our faces and say, "Hey, you had access to do this and to really do that." My opinion, it's another form of COINTELPRO. We'll get into that in a different time and a different, story. But news cycles aren't meant to inform; they're designed to to overwhelm. You know, you, you're not supposed to see the big picture. You're not supposed to have no vision. You're not supposed to have none of your own ideas, right? You're supposed to be too busy reacting to the latest headline, the hottest topic, the meme, or a scandal. Then you have to ask yourself who benefits from your confusion? Who benefits from your confusion? So when you compromise truth, you compromise yourself. And every time you stay silent to fit in, every time you share something you don't believe just to be accepted, you chip away at your own authenticity. And in a culture of clones, authenticity is rebellion. I often tell all my people that The new hottest thing is cosplaying real niggas. The cosplaying of a real nigga has been here for years. But you have these people who have the access to the internet and all this other shit, and they're able to create a picture and create whoever the fuck they want to be, something totally different. You got fake thugs, fake, all internet thugs, keyboard gangsters, and shit like that. But um, unfortunately, because the standard of it, right? You've seen people become millionaires being tough on the internet, you know what I'm saying, or get some type of clout and fame. I don't know what exactly it is. It's weird to me, but they get some type of cultural cachet for being real tough on the internet. They build this persona up. You feel what I'm saying? And it's weird. So I always talk about the cosplaying of us, the cosplaying of our culture, the cosplaying of the hip hop culture, and how important it is to protect it because we all too nice. We all want to invite everybody to the cookout, invite everybody to the, what I'm saying, just because they know how to do a boots on the ground. You know what I'm saying? Once I got my boots on the ground, or once some type of, once one of the outsiders, they ain't necessarily gotta be white. It ain't really like or whatever thing. This is just an outsider, people who pretend like they love hip hop culture, but talking down on it every second. You understand what I'm saying? But they seek to profit off of it, of our culture, of black culture. Once somebody else they put their boots on the ground, or they hit the Dougie, or they hit a TikTok dance, all of a sudden, I want to let them into the motherfucking cookout and do all this other weird ass shit. But anyway, a different topic for a different day. In the culture of clones, authenticity is rebellion. So the moment you start to um, negotiate with lies, right? Especially when you're in fear, or you negotiate with lies out of fear, comfort, or convenience, you give power to systems that you don't have your best interests at heart. And you become complicit in your own programming. You become complicit in your own conditioning. But holding to truth, right? That's revolutionary. It what it does is it's it it isolates you. It challenges you, you know, but it also frees you, you know. It really frees you. So the distractions aren't going away. Every time, every day is gonna be a new distraction. I remember when TV used to end, it don't end no more. Everything is a 24-hour loop of whatever the fuck is out there, right? They'll get louder, they'll get slicker and more seductive. But the question is, will you anchor yourself in truth, or will you drift with the noise? So reclaiming truth means unplugging from the circus. It means learning to think, not just react. Now, see reference to my last live about think more and believe in less. Think more and believe less. It means seeking wisdom, not just the information. It means being okay with discomfort because truth rarely feels good, but it always is good. Truth hurts a lot, you know. Something about our mind, I think I forgot what it's called. I'm not gonna even try to say it because I don't even know the name. It. But I want to say it's something in your mind. I want to say it's a para or something, but not a parasite, but like a parasympathetic, some shit like that. I have to look more into it. But you can create your own illusions, or the mind will create, to make the body feel, what I'm saying, all type of shit. I ain't got all the way down to all the base level yet, you know what I'm saying, too. I'm still breaking that down myself. But for those who know, go ahead and put it in the comments. But there's always a discomfort, you know. I think our mind always tries to make us feel okay, you know. Um, Sometimes things are not okay, and that's fine. I think what's more important is the fact that we have to learn how to lose, to learn how to win, you know. And this society, it profits off of our confusion, you know? So in a society that profits uh, in a society that profits off of our confusion, clarity is the power. In a culture that feeds on fear, peace is rebellion. And in a time where illusion is the norm, truth is the last stand, you know? Um, and then the one other thing that I want to say before I close is that, like I said, it's not gonna be no long video. I'm just here to drop this off. You know what I'm saying? You can listen to it, real quick. um, truth is non-negotiable because your soul isn't for sale. You know what I'm saying? No clickbait, no trend, no algorithm can compete with clarity. And once you get your moment of clarity, once you truly see, you really can't unsee. Now the only question is, what will you do with what you know now? You know, what will you do for what you know with what you know now? The truth doesn't care about the algorithm. It don't flex for clout or shrink for comfort. And so this world, like I said before, is built on distractions. And that clarity is truly a rebellion. Your authenticity is a rebellion in a day and age where a lot of these weirdos are being characters. You know, the truth don't beg to be liked. The truth doesn't really trend. It doesn't care how it makes you feel. So we got a world full of cowards chasing clicks, and when you got a world full of cowards that's chasing clicks and views, when you stand on the truth, it's war. You automatically declaring war. So if you're around people where if you are the truth teller, and you around a bunch of fake motherfuckers, then you have declared war. Notice how they react to you when you start talking, when you start saying what you really feeling and saying what you really think. Notice how niggas start acting. They start acting like, oh, this nigga, they start calling you crazy. You know, they they start calling you all type of product, or they try to put a label on you, or try to, what I'm saying, they try to figure you out. Oh, this nigga ain't doing what everybody else is doing. He must be, what I'm saying? Like he must be. What's wrong with you? Because you choose to separate yourself from all this bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? Now all of a sudden you crazy. Not because you did anything crazy, just because you speak the truth. You're not catering to nobody's feelings, and like, you know, just not being fake with this shit. I've lived too much. I've been through way too much to lie. The times that I did lie, I wasn't sure about myself. I was insecure about myself, you know, when I was younger, you know, living lies, and, I lived a lie for a cool little period of my time, you know. I created my own reality, and eventually it caught up with me. I thought everything was cool. I thought everything was okay. I thought everything was whatever, but it really wasn't. And I knew it wasn't, but I was in denial. And once you acknowledge that, dog, you start noticing shit in a different way. This shit will isolate you, and and it's going to be some times where you isolated with this shit that is going to be scary. Trust me. I ain't too motherfucking, I'm a grown man, I'm 35 years old, but I ain't too afraid to admit that sometimes I get scared. Not because of anybody, any human, but because of I seen, I've heard, I've read about what they do to people who talk like this. But it's not a bad scare though, you know. And I'm not sure if it's even a scared thing. It's kind of like when I do shit like this, when I do the prescription, because it's a whole different tone of content. The closest feeling I can parallel to is getting ready to play a football game. You walking out, you get that final speech. You don't put your cleats on. You don't did your walkthroughs, your exercises. Now it's time for the game to start, and you get that little feeling, a little butterfly feeling in your stomach. Like, man, I don't know what the fuck happened. Like when you strap them pads on, there's no guarantee that you come back. Football is a very violent game. There's no guarantee when you walk out there that you'll leave walking. No guarantee at all. Anything can happen. So you got them butterflies in your stomach because it's that gladiator shit. This gladiator shit. This is warfare right here. This is contact. This is adrenaline rush. This is aggression. This is leverage. This is power. This is chess. It's moving. And football is a moving chessboard. The views is different. That's why you got people on the field and you got people off in the skybox. The field view was one thing, but the eyes of the sky don't lie. That's how I look at this shit, and that's how I view my relationship with God. You know, my relationship with the higher power is that of a coordinator to a coach. He up in the skybox. He watching everything that goes on. I'm out here in the field, just moving. Hey, there's some shit over here. Like you might want to, what I'm saying. Like that's just how I view it. You understand what I'm saying? So, like I said, man, the truth is non-negotiable, and don't let anybody else negotiate the truth with you or around you. You know what I'm saying? And people is your real people. They won't negotiate it either. They'll tell you the truth. You know what I'm saying? And if you get told the truth, you don't be offended. Say, hey, man, if you do something and your partner say, shit, I don't know, I don't know, bitch, that shit might be a little. Oh, okay, okay, all right, I relax. You know what I'm saying? I relax. You know, ain't no egos in that shit. A lot of these niggas got egos, and you can't tell them where they wrong. Or you can't tell them nothing. You know what I'm saying? When in our reality, we're supposed to be our brother's keeper for real, for real. Look at, you know what I'm saying? Like, look after, hey, say, I don't know about this, or no, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you see something, say something. Why? Because the truth is non negotiable. And when you start negotiating truth, you start losing yourself in the midst of all this bullshit. You start finding yourself around more characters. You start finding yourself getting stuck in situations. You start finding yourself in some of the weirdest, just the weirdest shit. I want to say something else, but I ain't. You just find yourself in a weird space. You understand what I'm saying? Um, but no, man, I just think that I think that truth is non-negotiable, and I think it's weird how everywhere you look, people are trying to manipulate it. Like they'll show you something right in front of your face and tell you that you didn't see it, and that'll fuck with you. Like, nah, I saw that. And they be like, no, you didn't see it. You know what I'm saying? It's real weird. It's real weird. But like I said, man, I just stopped by. Um, it's gonna be a part two of this. It might be a part two and a part three. I feel like it's so much more to expand on. I might have to go live with it, but I'm gonna try to keep some of these videos at least 30 minutes, around 30 minutes. So like little quick hits. You understand what I'm saying? I'm just watching my analytics and I'm just, trying to drive it up a little bit. So turn me up out there, man. I be hearing people talking about they want real content. Ain't no real niggas speaking no real content, talking about nothing real. They tired of all the bullshit. We'll let them know that it's somebody that they come along. You know what I'm saying? Share it to everybody out there. I don't pull no punches. I'm always down for conversation. You know what I'm saying? And so make sure you tap into everything I have going on. Hit that QR code at the bottom right hand corner. That's gonna take you to everything I do. Find me on shit. Find me everywhere. Find me everywhere, man. That being said, that's it for the prescription for today. I just wanted to give you a little dose of what was on my mind, and maybe it's on yours too, or maybe um I can spark something in you to have a conversation. And if you want to have that conversation, you can go ahead and hit me up anywhere. Get down there in the description. I need y'all feedback. I need your likes. I need it all. T-shirt, socks, and drawers. I'm talking about. So with that being said, man, I'm done. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Remember, truth is non-negotiable. Truth is non-negotiable. Mind your mental to be monumental. Stay trill and healing, most of all. Stay mentally trill. Stay trill and stay tuned. Subscribe or stay lost. I'm gone.